Okay. Really proud of our team. It's a hard-fought game, and we had one like that a week. All of ours have been like that. Holy smokes! Hawaii and Oklahoma and Buffalo here, and it's a hard-fought game. I was really impressed with Buffalo's team. They're very athletic. They're big and physical. Um, I don't. There's be hard to argue that guy's not one of the best football coaches in the country. I mean, he's won a lot of games, and really they've done a great job. I think our guys just executed really well today. We had a big play on the kick block, and that made a big difference for us. And we just were able to sustain some drives most of the day. And in the end, that's really what we want to do is try to keep it away from the other team. And that quarterback, the receiver didn't play. We frankly a little bit relieved. He's a really good player, and just able to come out with a victory, and is one we needed desperately.
Coach, what were you thinking after the first couple of series? They score quickly, your offense is off the field and one on a 3-and-out. What are you thinking?
Here we go. We're going to be in a dogfight all day long, and we've had our backs to the wall before. I mean, we've had teams score first on us. Hawaii scored first, and Oklahoma scored first, and I think that's maybe what our guys do well is not flinch. They just play the next set of downs and the next series, and don't look back. And so we did a good job of that today. We got our backs to the wall again with going after the punt block and getting a roughing call, and we got them off the field. Would have been a chance for them to make it 10-0 or 14-0, and we got them off the field, and that was a big stop for us.
Seems like your defensive acts really came up big in those opening defensive series, really changed the direction of the game.
They did a good job, and there's a good core of veterans in that group, and Max Regan's playing as good as he's played since he's been here, and that's fun to see a guy come up through the program like that. But Gibby and Jalen and Riley, I think he's having a great year, and hopefully he'll continue to improve and get better. And we've got Mike Reynolds playing a lot of snaps. He's a senior, so there's some guys there that have played, and you hope by this point in their career that they will be the guys that go out there and make plays.
When you're able to make a few big plays in the passing game, score on an 80-yard kickoff return or field goal return, how does that just kind of help overall with the offense you run?
That gives you a little breathing room, and you don't have to. It's hard to protect guys that are pass rushing. I mean, they got guys on scholarship. They got some good players, and I was impressed with how physical and how good their effort is out of that Buffalo team. Watching them in the 4 games that we were able to scout them on film, and then watching them today. A great example to me is a team where we scored that last touchdown, and their defense still rushed the kick like they were trying to block the kick. That's just one play that you can look at, and it's an indication of how bought in their team is and how hard they play. And Lance has done a great job. He's a great football coach, and what being able to get some big plays does is give you a little breathing room. You don't feel like you've got to go 16 plays, 19 plays, hammering it 3 and 4 yards all the way down the field. It's hard to do. And when you can get a big chunk play in there, it makes it a lot easier.
They didn't convert very many third downs or fourth downs. I think they were 2 for 11, something like that at one point. What did you do well in that facet?
I think the guys just got underneath some of the routes and probably made it a little bit difficult for him to hit some of the intermediate stuff. He took some shots and threw the ball down the field. They hit some, but for most of them were hitting the ground. We didn't let them connect on those, and we talked about that going into this week, how good they are at completing those balls. They completed one for us against us last year for a touchdown. So I thought that was a great job by our defense. Their offensive line, what an incredible job they're doing. He didn't get sacked today. 5 games without getting sacked. That's really impressive. And they took care of him and allowed him to throw the ball. And he's a terrific quarterback. He's just the way he throws the ball and how much poise he has back there. And like I said, when he gets time, he's got a chance to throw it a long way. And fortunately, we were just kind of right where we needed to be on most of them.
He ran for a long score against you guys last year and really hasn't been running since the end of last year. Does that change the way you defend him at all?
It did. It did change it a little bit because they haven't been running him as much. frankly, I think he's a really good runner, and I'm a little relieved that they didn't kind of dust that off today. But he's so valuable to them in the passing game. It's there's some risk involved there where you run that quarterback, and he gets vulnerable to getting tackled and rolled up, and I'm sure they're different when he's not in the game.
And Coach, on Kelvin, he got intercepted on his first pass attempt, but then he came out 4 for 4. He had the big play to Cam Harrison, and then the touchdown to Jordan in the third quarter. Just describe a little bit of Kelvin's game.
Well, the third down pass was just a clear dig and a drag underneath it, and he held on to the ball a little bit long, and the drag route pulled the play side safety or the field safety over to that side where we were trying to throw it, and he got under the dig. He made a great play. It was a great catch by their kid. And the thing about Kelvin, much like I felt Ahmad was, it was a strength for Ahmad is just his poise, and he doesn't get rattled. He doesn't come over to the sideline and put his head in his hands and sulk and worry about it. He just goes on, and I think a lot of that's probably because he saw Ahmad Bradshaw be able to handle adversity like that the last few years, and he's just continued to get better. And it seems like each game, as we get going in the game, he settles in more and just kind of gains some confidence as the game goes along in the game plan and what we're doing and what defense the opponent is settling into, and so he did a good job. They changed up the defense against us. They had a couple different looks to the unbalanced. They got in an odd front a couple of times, which they've never done against us. So they gave us some wrinkles, and I thought he handled all those really well.
How about the three fullbacks, Darnell and Connor and Kalen? They all were productive. Is that a sign the offensive line was creating holes for him?
I think the offensive line was doing a good job. Those guys were running real hard, but everybody's involved in that. The slots and the wide receivers, and we're getting those guys on linebackers and sometimes even on the defensive linemen for those slot backs. So I thought everybody really, played hard and did a good job, especially on those short yardage situations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.